Hi guys, I wasn't actually going to do a video today, but I'm currently in my village of Gislingham. I'm in the churchyard. It's the first time I've done a cemetery walk with you lot in my local church, which is St Mary's the Virgin in Gislingham. And yeah, I've been wandering around and I wanted to show you something that I found quite interesting. Some of you might, and I know these videos don't get a lot of views, but as I said, I just do it because I love doing it. And this is fascinating. I need to do some more research on this. So I noticed it because of the poppies. And this is Private Frederick William Cook, Suffolk Regiment, died November the 17th, 1918, in his 23rd year. How awful. And his sister died a year later in Toronto. That's so interesting. She was 33 and he was 23. But there was me. I was thinking, oh, he must have died in action. But he can't have, because I did a project when I was at school and I still remember it. And it was about the last British soldier that died in the First World War. And that was a chap by the name of Edwin Ellison. And he died an hour and a half before the end of the First World War. He was killed by a sniper in Mons in Belgium. And the other interesting thing about him is the fact that he had been on the front for, I think, over 3 years, and he'd survived. And not only that, he was 40, whereas the average age of a British soldier to die in the First World War was 27, but the most popular age was 19. I mean, just a kid. But he was over double that. So yeah, I did a project on him when I was at school. So I remember that the First World War finished on the 11th of November 1918. So, and obviously this gentleman has been buried here and not over in France or Belgium, which makes me think he must have died of his injuries, is what I think. How tragic. A week later. Very sad. I need to find, there must be a war memorial here. I will go and find it and see if his name's on there. I'm sure it is. It's Frederick William Cook. Anyway guys, I'll take you with me. It's a lovely cemetery, if you like cemeteries. I love them, as you know. I spoke to Ian, who's the owner of Wibsey motorcycles, and not quite sure when we're going to get the bike to me, because obviously it's Christmas and then it's New Year, so hopefully it will be soon, but I will let you know as soon as I know. Some lovely, I love the way they've left some of these to sort of grow wild, and then a lot of these that are equally as old have been sort of kept nice. Wow. Died in her sleep on the 29th of September 1890, age 31. Well, I think it's such a great place to come to reset your mind. I know I've said this before. I think that's the war memorial, isn't it? And I know a lot of you, this isn't your thing, but it's mine, and I know it's a couple of you enjoy it. So let's have a little look at this. Is this the war memorial? There's no poppy wreaths or anything. Seems a bit odd, doesn't it? Oh yes, there is. Look, here we go. Right, let's have a look. There he is at the very bottom. Frederick Cook. In loving memory of the men of this parish who laid down their lives in the Great War, 1914 to 1918. Thank you guys. My foster dad was in the Second World War, and he was in the SOE, which was a Special Operative Executive, something like that. Special Operatives Executive. And he was dropped in Italy, in the mountains in Italy. And when he passed away, he had a trunk that was in the attic. And in that trunk, there were countless grenade pins that he'd kept, silk maps that had been sewn into the inside of his jacket when he was dropped out of the aeroplane in 1942, and a diary that he kept, which was quite a read, I have to say. Quite shocking actually, that someone I knew saw what he saw. It seems like ages ago, doesn't it? It seems like lifetimes ago, more than just one lifetime ago, and yeah, it was very shocking. But it's a lovely church. That's an added tower, I think, in the 1800s that was put on. But I think the church dates back to the 12th century. So anyway guys, I'm sorry if I'm rambling. I do love a walk in a cemetery. A buddy of mine suggested that I go to a church in Sudbury, which is where TTT Motorcycles is, because there's an extremely haunted church there. I might do that. I might not go on my own, just in case. But yeah, that's definitely something I'll do in the future. It's nice coming to the bits that are overgrown and kind of trying to see if you can work out any inscriptions on the grave. I mean, these ones that are all, I almost feel I want to clean that one up so I can read it. Yeah, that's nearly 120 years ago she died. Anyway guys, I know this is boring for you lot. I only got the camera out because I found that gravestone. Let's go back to it. That's very interesting for me, because as I said, I'm very interested in the First and Second World War anyway, and because I specifically did a project on the last British soldiers to die in the First World War, and then I find this gravestone, which obviously there must have been, although George Edwin Ellison was the last soldier to be shot, I guess, I'm sure a lot of soldiers died from their injuries afterwards, and this gentleman obviously managed to get home, which I suppose is a good thing. I remember when I was doing my research that I think over 2,500 soldiers, British soldiers, died on the last day of the war, and the amnesty was at 11 AM. So before 11 AM and after midnight on that day, still over 2,500 soldiers perished. Kind of puts it into the perspective on how many people died, doesn't it? Incredible. Alright guys, I've been wittering. I don't know how many people are going to watch this, but I hope some do, because yeah, I find it very interesting. Anyway guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day and a great weekend, and ride safe.